Hey guys, this is Jen McDermott. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do this chalkboard technique that's so popular right now. I am going to be using Sweet Stamp Shop's new March release chalkboard sign. That's what you see here. So what you are going to need is a piece of black cardstock. I like the 100-pound cardstock from Avery Elle. You're also going to need Versamark ink for embossing, some sort of white pigment ink. I like this by Colorbox. It's the Frost White. You're going to need a couple of paint brushes. These are going to be dry. The first one you're going to want to be kind of stiff, and then this one you're going to want a big fluffy dry brush too. Some baby powder. A white gel pen. This is just a Jelly Roll pen. It's not my favorite, but it works for this. And then if you want, you can use a distress marker and picket fence. It's got kind of a translucent look on the black cardstock, so it might be something that you could use to make it look like smudged chalk. So that's up to you if you want to use this. Okay, I've started by putting my stamps on my stamp block, and I'm going to ink it up with Versamark. I want to make sure I cover the stamp really well with this. Okay. Now before I stamp onto the black cardstock, I am going to prepare it for embossing. There are a lot of companies that sell tools to help cover the embossing area and prep it before you put the powder on. I don't think that that's necessary. I just use a fluffy dry brush and some baby powder, and I find that that works well for getting the static off and helping the embossing powder to not cling where it's not supposed to be. And this looks like there's a lot on there, but it comes off pretty easily. Okay, so now that we're ready to go, I'm going to stamp on my cardstock. I'm from Florida, so I say stamp, not stamp, like my friends from Utah. We're going to get down there really good, make sure we cover it all up. And Versamark's pretty sticky, so I normally have to kind of peel that off. Here we go. I'm going to get out my white embossing powder. Use a little bit more over here. Okay. Now I'm going to grab my heat tool, and we're going to just heat emboss it. Actually, before I do that, I'm going to grab this paintbrush here and kind of get rid of the stray pieces of white embossing powder. The great thing about the chalkboard technique is that it doesn't have to be perfect. So if you miss a few little pieces of the embossing powder and they do wind up getting melted on there, it's not the end of the world because it's supposed to look a little bit messy, but you do want to make sure you do your best to get it off there. That one doesn't want to go. Especially in the middle of the little panels here. You don't want any lines in between there. There we go. And if you do wind up taking too much of the embossing powder off, it's not the end of the world either, because you can go over it with a white gel pen after you're done. Now I've got my heat tool and I'm going to heat emboss it. You can see it kind of come to life here. Okay, so here is my heat embossed panel. If you like it like this, you can leave it like this, but also another option, if you want it to look really kind of faded and distressed like a chalkboard, you can take your white pigment ink and ink up your stamp again. Now the Color Box Frost White I find is a very juicy stamp pad, so you're going to want to use kind of a light hand with this, and it's okay if it's not done perfectly, but I found that this is kind of like a puddle of ink, so I'm kind of careful when I use it. Now this time when I stamp on my panel, I'm going to make it slightly off center, ever so slightly off center, so that it's got a little shadow to it. Just gonna make sure where I'm at here. Okay, and press down. Okay. So see how this is kind of off center and it's got a little bit of a chalky shadow? You can do that if you want, or you can leave it like I said. So next we're going to be distressing it. So you're going to grab your dry, kind of stiff paintbrush and grab that white pigment ink again. We're going to just lightly tap in the ink and then lightly tap on the background. Just swirl it up, and then I like to use my finger to smudge it in there too. This is not an exact science by any means. Just have fun with it. You want to make it look like someone's drawn on this and then erased it. And I do like to use my finger to get in there and smudge it. Okay. Now earlier I did mention the white distress marker, the picket fence. If you want to use that, you can, I can hear my kids and it's distracting me. You can draw some little shapes on there if you want to make it look like someone was doodling on a chalkboard. This just takes a little second to develop, and then when it does, it looks really cool. So I'm just going to doodle a couple little hearts on here. It's kind of fun. Okay. So to help kind of finish it off, it does look really cute like this, but I'm going to add just a couple of finishing touches. I'm going to use my corner chomper in Cloud, and I'm just going to add a little detail to the corners here. And then to really help it look finished, I'm going to add a little border with my white gel pen. This does not have to look perfect at all. It's supposed to look kind of messy and hand-drawn. So you can draw it all the way around, plain, or you can put little dashes to make it look like fake stitching, or you can put little squiggles in there to give it some more interest. Just have fun. Okay. So this is my finished chalkboard panel, and I've done one similarly here, and I've adhered it to cardstock base, and I've cut a couple of different contrasting patterns and adhered them on there. And then when you're done, this is what it looks like. So thanks for listening. Hope you guys try it out, and visit my blog at wonkywares.blogspot.com. And if you've done this, you can just link up in the comments section a link to your blog posting with an example of this, and I'd love to see what you made. Thanks. Bye.